Alright, hey, HadesOmega here. So I've got a little moto tip, alright? It's a moto tip. It's kind of like an ADV riding tip because it pertains to tubes, okay? So I'm talking about tubes. So I hope you guys are carrying spare tubes with you, alright? It's because HadesOmega does when he hits the trails. If I know I'm going to somewhere out far, you know, I bring a tube, extra tubes, and tools to be able to change them, okay? And that's what that's what I do when I really go out, you know, if I'm going to go out somewhere far, okay? So I just got done changing the tire on my KLX 140L front tire, okay? And this is the tube that came from that, this is a stock tube, the stock tube that came with that wheel, okay? And why do I have it with me and not inside the tube? Well, so I had bought a heavy-duty motorcycle tube that I was using as a spare, okay? And so the thing about heavy-duty motorcycle tubes is they're heavy, okay? And they take up more space. So I would rather carry the old. So one of the reasons I put the heavy-duty tube in there is because this is old, and this thing has been. My bike is a 2011 KLX. This tube has been in there for 10 years, okay? And it's held air the whole freaking time, okay? So I know one thing I know is this tube is good. This tube will hold air. And another thing I know is this tube it's kind of worn out, you know. It doesn't have all the rubber it originally did when it was brand new. Fortunately, it's the front doesn't wear out as fast, okay? But tubes are one of those things that you should be replacing every once in a while because they do get old, okay? The thicker they are, the more resistant they are to getting punctures and pinches and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So what do you do with your old tubes that still hold, you know, they're still okay, they hold air, there's nothing really wrong with them, but they're just kind of old. You want to replace them. What I do with them is I use them as spare tubes, okay? So spare tubes, the original tubes, okay, the not heavy duty ones are lighter than the heavy duty ones. So what HadesOmega will do is I will put a heavy duty tube in the tire. All right, that'll be that's like my primary tube, okay? So it's in there because it's more resistant to getting flats and punctures and all that bad stuff, okay? And then I carry the old tube with me because it's lighter and easier to carry, okay? Try to carry an ultra heavy duty or a heavy duty tube with you. It takes up more space, it's heavier, you know, not fun, okay? So that's what I do with my old tubes. I keep them as spares, okay? I don't keep them. I take them with me when I go on the trails and stuff or adventure riding, and I use these tubes, okay? So it's a lot easier to carry. And one thing that HadesOmega has learned from adventure riding is you want to keep your gear as light as possible, and those heavy duty tubes, they take up a lot of space. The only thing that sucks is if you do get a flat and you do want to repair that tube. Let's say you want to swap your spare tube in and then take your heavy duty tube out and you're going to patch it later, okay? Then you have to carry the tube with you, okay? It's not a big deal. Just throw it on a net or something. but yeah, that's what I do with my old tubes, okay? The old tubes that, like, you know, that are kind of questionable, like, yeah, you replaced it because it was getting old, but it still holds air. Use it as a spare tube, okay? It's lighter and easier to carry, and it's still good. It still holds air, okay? Make sure you got the valve core in there, okay? And so it is easier to carry than a heavy duty tube, okay? And then, yeah, like I said, generally what I'll do is I'll put the heavy duty tube in the tire as a primary tube. Okay, I hope you guys learned something. That's HadesOmega's moto tip for today, is use your original, not so heavy duty or worn out tubes. Use them as spare tubes because they're lighter, okay? They're lighter and easier to carry. You know, you can fold them up, you know, it doesn't take up as much. I bet you a heavy duty tube probably takes up twice as much space as this when you fold it up, okay? What you could do to help you fold it up a little better is take the valve core out and then kind of roll it up and squeeze all the air out and then put the valve core back in, okay? And then it'll kind of like suck the tube and make it smaller, okay? But yeah, so this is that tube that was in that tire, okay? I'll do it from the rear also. The nice thing about the Light Bee is it has the same size tubes for front and back, okay? So you don't have to mess around with the tires, the tube sizes. You just keep one tube for it with both of them, okay? But yeah, so yeah, there you go. Use those old tubes as spare tubes. All right, here we go.